Howdy folks! The Radio Ranch is a cowboy, cowgirl clubhouse where kids can come to get away from the city, learn about roping and riding. Every Thursday at 11:30 a.m., yours truly, Rawhide Foxtrot, with the help of my partners, Rocket Ramjet and trusty Junior Thunder Riders, must put on a live radio program or risk losing the ranch forever. Golly, looks like it's that time again. Start intro. Howdy everybody, it's Radio Ranch, and we have two Junior Thunder Riders from Mr. Foster's class, and they're going to introduce themselves to you right now. Starting right next to me is Cowgirl.
Snowshoe.
Snowshoe, all right, and tell everybody out there what your horse's name is.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt, okay, and what's your job here on the ranch? What do you do to help out?
My job is to feed the horses.
Feed the horses, okay. And sitting next to you is Cowboy
Thundershock.
Thundershock. And Cowboy Thundershock, what's your horse's name?
Thunder.
All right. And what's your job here on the ranch?
I catch stampede bulls.
You catch stampede bulls, and what do you do with them?
I put them back in the right place.
All right, great. But your job right now here today is to give us the news from the second grade. So take it away, Cowgirl Snowshoe.
During math workshop, we have been learning about all different types of story problems. There are many types of story problems. Unknown total, unknown partner, unknown change, extra details, and even add your own details. Did you know every story problem must have an equation, answer, and label? Mr. Foster always reminds us to show our thinking too. We're also working really hard on our subtraction and addition facts.
Now, how do you show your thinking when he asks you to do that?
Well,
do you have a little thought bubble that pops out of your head like on the cartoons?
Yes. Usually we draw bubbles, make equations, and do math mountains.
What's a math mountain?
So you put a triangle on the paper.
Uh-huh.
It's just a triangle without a bottom.
Okay.
You put the total on the top, and then you put one of the things that equal that total, and the other thing that equals the total.
Oh, wow, okay. So I learned something new, Math Mountains. Great. Okay, and next up with our next story is Cowboy Thundershock.
We have been learning all about nonfiction text features and how to use them while reading a book. Nonfiction is all about reading for information. It is really easy to spot nonfiction text features while reading Time for Kids and National Geographic. Every picture will have a caption telling you about the photo. Headings are found in the table of contents, and if you don't know a word, all you have to do is go right to the glossary. Bold words help us expand our thinking. Without the glossary, we wouldn't know anywhere to find information. We created an anchor chart. It's hanging in our classroom. Stop by and take a look. We also have time to read books and meet for guided reading groups. Each week, we get to exchange our books. Reading is fun.
All right, thank you very much for that. And Cowgirl Snowshoe, next up.
When our class started doing handwriting, we got a letter from Jan Z. Olson, the person who wrote the book. In handwriting, you have to stay on the line so it looks nice. We also learned how to use the magic C to write other letters. Mr. Foster walks around the classroom giving students stickers if they have done a nice job. You must remember to sit up tall and hold the book down with the other hand we are not using to write.
In writing workshop, we have been learning about seeds, which are little ideas about what to write about. We have been learning how and where to use commas, periods, and other writing signs. We have been learning how to use comeback sentences. We have also been learning how to spell words. In the first quarter, we had lots of spelling tests. We have been learning how to add information to our stories using a carrot. Mostly we've been having a ton of fun in writing.
Now, when you write with a carrot, does it write in orange?
No, what it does is just adding a word that you forgot, or a word that it needs to make sense in this sentence. Because if you didn't add that word, it won't make any sense.
So you lay a carrot down on your paper in order to insert the word?
Yes.
No, it's mostly just like a triangle going up without the bottom.
But don't we
Yeah,
use
but it's
carrots to
upside
feed
down.
the horses?
Yeah.
Different kinds of carrots.
Different kind of carrot, okay.
These are just carrots on papers.
Okay, I think I got it. All right, well that brings us to our break, and we are going to head on down to the Comedy Corral, and we'll be right back with more stories and from the second grade after this comedy break.
Shake up a fiddle, play a real jig and jive. Dance like a bear jumping around a beehive. Tap your boot fast, tip your hat slow. It's time for a hoedown, so go, go, go. Bow to your partner, bow to your own. 3 hands up and around you go. Break it on up with a do-si-do. It's time for a hoedown, don't you know?
Hi, I'm Cowgirl Shine Star.
And I'm Cowboy Lightning.
And we have some jokes for you. What can you catch but not throw?
I don't know.
A cold.
What do you get when an elephant and a fish cross?
I don't know.
Swim trunks.
When the spider goes on the computer, what is its favorite thing to go on?
I don't know.
The web.
Why did a baby rattlesnake cry?
I don't know.
Because it lost its rattle.
I like that one. Because it lost its rattle. Get it? It lost its rattle. Whatever.
All right, and we're back. Just a reminder, if you have any questions for our fantastic anchors here on any of the stories that they're reading to you, then you can put those in the chat room if you're watching live, and we'll send those to them and see if they can answer your questions. But let's get back to the stories, and next up is Cowgirl Snowshoe.
In science, we are learning about the rainforest. We are learning about animals and plants that live in the rainforest, forest, ocean, and grasslands. It is so cool. We have also learned about the 4 levels of the rainforest: floor, understory, canopy, and emergence. We have also been learning about mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, and insects. Some birds migrate to the south for the winter, while some mammals hibernate in their dens to stay warm all winter long. Squirrels are camouflaged in the fall leaves. All animals have learned to adapt to their habitats.
Great.
We at AmeriCorps come to Discovery Lab to talk about trying to save the animals that lay their eggs on plants, and we learned about a green vine that was brought here by a different country, and now it's taking over trees in Virginia, killing trees. We also learned about a bush that grows bright red berries. Birds eat the berry, then the bird tries to fly south for the winter, but runs out of energy before it makes it to the south. The bird dies on its way to the south. The AmeriCorps volunteers are trying to destroy these bad plants. We are also learning about refuges across the United States.
Now, do you remember any of the names of these bad plants so that we can make sure that we don't have any on the ranch?
Well, one of them is the Japanese honeysuckle.
Okay. And was that the one with the red berries or the vines?
There's also a mustard plant that if butterflies lay their eggs, it's bad for the eggs and they won't hatch.
Okay.
It's called garlic mustard.
Ooh, wow. Okay. All right. And Cowgirl Snowshoe, you have our next story.
Miss LaGuidi's class came up to our classroom for a Thanksgiving party. We made candied apples. It was really hot. Miss LaGuidi mixed the sugar and candy for the apples. We made turkey hats and did fun activities. Students performed a Reader's Theater all about Thanksgiving. At the end of the day, we each took home a candied apple in a special baggie.
Did you eat your hats?
No.
No,
Weren't they made out of turkey?
no, they're just made out of paper.
Oh, okay. But I thought you said you had turkey hats.
There was a picture of a turkey on the front.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that brings us to the end. We're going to head on over to the chat room. If you have any questions for our anchors, Junior Thunder Riders here, then go ahead and type those really fast if you haven't already gotten them in.
Where is the rainforest?
Do you remember where the rainforest was that you read about? Who had that story?
I don't know who had it in our class.
But, I mean, where is the rainforest?
Usually in South America.
Okay, South America is one of the places. Good. Another question for our Junior Thunder Riders.
What is adaptation?
Adaptation. Did you mention that word?
An adaptation is a body part or action that an animal needs to survive.
Awesome job. Okay. All right. Who else can try and stump our Junior Thunder Riders' brains here?
One more. How many layers does the forest have?
4.
4 layers.
Okay. All right. And you listed those in your story. And this will be recorded and put on the internet. So if you want to re-watch this to go back and review that, you can. Next week, we will have Mrs. Vasquez's class on tap for their Radio Ranch time. And that is it for Cowboy Thundershock, Cowgirl Snowshoe, and I'm your host, Rawhide Foxtrot. And we'll see you next week.